me his number. I said I'll think about it. Can I trust him? Sasha. I sighed. If only I had $1 every time I got a question like this. Dear Sasha. Until a man has done something to make you not trust him, don't make him pay for the troubles other men have caused. Call him. Forget the risks and take the fall. If it's meant to be, it'll be worth it all. Hey, that rhymed. XOXO. CA. I scanned through a few more, before I took interest in another one. Dear Cupid's assistant. Which one do you prefer? American boys or British boys? Flirt alert. I laughed quietly. Sometimes people didn't want advice at all, they just wanted some fun. Dear Flirt alert. British boys all the way. Here are 7 reasons why. 1. His accent. 2. Having someone call you love. 3. His accent. 4. They dress better than American boys. 5. His accent. 6. They're cuter than American boys. 7. His accent. Aha, but always remember, in the end, it's the personality that counts. You can choose who you fall for. XOXO. CA. I lifted my laptop and brought it with me while I lay down on my bed. After logging onto Facebook and checking my notifications and replying to my inboxes, a thought suddenly came to my mind. In the white rectangular box at the top of my page, I typed in 2 words and clicked search. Reese Carter, 209 mutual friends. Instinctively, I clicked on his profile. His display picture was taken with Valentino, both shirtless at the pools. Without realizing it, I went through his profile pictures. What? It's not my fault the idiot doesn't understand the term privacy settings. 573 likes, 796 likes, 618 likes. Oh my god. Who the heck has that many likes on a picture? I mean, I know he's breathtakingly hot, but really? Over 500 likes? The most I'd ever gotten on my display picture was 14. I scrolled down the hundreds, nearly thousands of comments. They mainly consisted of girls typing hottie, with hearts and smiley faces. I wanted to puke. I clicked the close button but missed. My heart skipped in my throat. I had mistakenly clicked add friend. No. That's not what I was planning to do. Damn it. One new notification: Reese Carter has accepted your friend request. Oh god. Inbox 1. This can't be good. I hesitantly clicked on the red notification. Reese Carter. Cheers for the ad, but you know, Cinderella never Facebook stalked Prince Charming. I could just imagine him smirking through the net. Chloe Armel. What made you think you were Prince Charming? Reese Carter. 'Cause I'm every girl's dream. I thought you already knew that? Chloe Armel. Sure. Whatever helps you sleep at night. He didn't reply for 6 minutes. Reese Carter. Sorry, princess. Slow replies, taking care of an idiot who's pissing me off. I kept myself busy for 3 minutes before I replied. I didn't want to seem like I had nothing else to do. Chloe Armel. Is everything okay? He only took 3 minutes this time, but his reply made my blood turn cold. Reese Carter. Everything's perfect. It's settled. I'm fighting him after school tomorrow. I guess sometimes you gotta teach someone the hard way. Chloe Armel. WOAH, hold on, are you serious? Reese Carter. Yup, schoolyard tomorrow. 4 p.m. Hey, you might even know the guy Tyler Alexander? Oh my god. Tyler. Of course, I knew Tyler. He's on the swim team with Charlie. Chloe Armel. You're going to fight Tyler? Why? Reese Carter. I take it you're friends with him. Chloe Armel. I wouldn't say friends, I just know him, but he's a nice guy. And he's younger than you and shorter. Haven't you heard the saying, pick on someone your own size? 7 minutes later. Reese Carter. So you're saying I'm not a nice guy? Nah, Chloe, you wound me deep. Yeah, well, haven't you heard the saying, I'm Reese Carter, and I don't give a fuck? I just stared at the screen, fully stunned. Chloe Armel. I didn't mean it that way. I have to go, good night Reese, stay safe XX. Reese Carter. Sweet dreams princess. Try not to dream of me too much. Chapter 16. As I walked through the school corridors, I couldn't help but think. Wow, news travels fast at Prescott Private. Every single person was talking about the punch on after school. Hell, people were placing bets on who they'd reckon would win. You're not in my math class anymore? That sucks. Gabby brought me out of my reveries. My lips formed into a smirk. More like YAAY freedom. I chuckled. She slapped me. Geez. I'm joking. No, Chloe, I'm so proud of you, little nerd. Charlie messed up my hair before I could shoo him away. I looked across from Gabby to Charlie and back again. You two are bullies. They just laughed at me. See? Emotional abuse right there. Yeah, but you love us. Charlie punched me softly. See? Physical abuse. I rolled my eyes. Yeah, totes. Oh my god guys, have you heard about the fight that's on after school today? Allie gushed out as she rushed to our table. Everyone has, Allie. Charlie commented. A bit slow there, don't you think? Gabby added. Shut up. Allie mumbled, looking embarrassed. Why are they fighting anyway? This caught my attention. Not sure, but I've got a feeling Tyler's the one who started this. I don't know this Reese guy too well, but as far as I know, he doesn't really give a shit about anyone, nor does he take shit from anyone. I finished my orange juice and stood up to throw it in the bin. On my way there, I passed a group of boys. Tyler was among them, looking very, very smug. I was feeling extremely nervous. Why? Because I was standing outside my last class for the day, Year 12 Specialist Math. I was going to be the only Year 11 there, and I don't even know that many Year 12s. Yay life. The corridors were becoming empty. I said one last prayer to the Lord and opened the door. Ah, you must be Chloe. The teacher was a middle-aged man, nothing too out of the ordinary. He had a tall nose where his thin-framed glasses rested on, and his broad smile was very welcoming. "Yeah," I said shyly when the entire class looked at me. "Great, great. I'm Mr. Collins, I've heard a lot about you. We've never had a Year 11 in a Year 12 specialist class." He turned towards his students, "So class, make sure you Chloe feels very welcome." I just blushed and looked at my shoes. "Okay, find a seat wherever you like, and here," he handed me a worksheet. "Try these, if you have any problems just give me a shout." "Thanks." I looked around properly for the first time and tried my hardest to avoid everyone's stares. I didn't care whether they were friendly smiles or not. I didn't like being the center of attention in awkward situations. There were basically 4 rows of seats. The first row was packed with the typical stereotypical nerds, braces, glasses, pimples, you get the drift. The second row consisted of the stuck-up nerds. You know, the ones that might think you're mentally challenged if you don't know the square root of pi to 27 decimal places. The third row would be where I would prefer to sit if they weren't all occupied. The third row involved of smart people with a life. I guess, I was left with only one choice. The fourth row, reserved for Reese Carter. My mind was not registering properly as I sat down in the seat beside him. Reese Carter. He was in specialist math? Really? You're in specialist math? I finally yelled. His eyebrows formed into a playful frown. I bet that's really hard to believe, right Chloe? He might have meant it as a joke, but a part of me knew he was hurt by my question. "I'm sorry, I didn't mean it like that." I turned scarlet red. I had offended him and it was actually killing me inside. We didn't say much after that. I quickly completed all the questions and hesitantly peered through my lashes to catch a glance at Reese. He had his feet on the desk and his arms were crossed behind the back of his head. Had he already finished? No way. I looked up to see everyone else's heads down as they scurried to finish the math problems before the bell. Was Reese really that fast? "Are you stuck on a problem, Chloe?" Mr. Collins asked beside me. I jumped, not expecting him to be so close. No. I finished." His left eyebrow shot up. "Oh? Great. I'll mark it now." He took out his red pen from the front pocket of his shirt and I watched as he put a tick next to all my answers. A minute later, the bell rang. Everyone packed up their own things and left. Reese shut his folder and made an attempt to leave, but I stood in his way. "We need to talk." He didn't even bother looking at me, which only made my heart sink deep into my chest. "Later." "No, right now." "Chloe." Mr. Collins' friendly voice called me. I turned around to look at him, feeling very annoyed. "Yes, sir. Can I speak to you for a moment?" I looked back to tell Reese to wait for me and scowled when no one was in view. The jerk had already left. I unwillingly brought myself to Mr. Collins' desk. "Is there something wrong?" "Wrong? No, everything's perfect, you got 100%. I'm impressed. Seems like Reese has a rival." Mr. Collins chuckled. "What do you mean?" He let out a small laugh again. "Reese is usually the only person who gets full marks in this class." My eyes widened in surprise. What? Why are you so surprised? Because I don't know his personality. I've never seen him study, or read a book, or do something that shows that he cares about his future. He's always reckless and carefree, rude and impatient, mean and wild and absolutely amazing. Mr. Collins laughed again. I know exactly what you mean, Chloe. He let out a sigh. But there's more than what meets the eye. How so? Well, for starters, he ranks first in not only year 12, but the entire school. I stood there, dumbfounded and absolutely speechless. Mr. Collins noticed my expression and gave me a toothy grin. You should see your face right now. Reese really ranks first. Sure does. He's a bright kid, Chloe. Prescott is privileged to have him. The school is lucky he accepted our offer. This teacher was currently confusing the crap out of me. What offer? Well, Mr. Collins ran his hand through his hair. Reese is not like other students. Reese is here on a scholarship. Everything was finally making some sense to me. It was all adding up. When I was at Reese's house, I noticed that there weren't any pictures of his father. Aurora must be a single mother. Reese is smart. Hell, he's a frickin' genius for being ranked number 1 in the entire school. 2 nights ago, Jaden and Jake mentioned that Reese fought in championships for money he probably needed for school and a normal lifestyle. And last but not least, yesterday, the headmaster had said that she knew who broke into the school. Of course. She found out it was Reese, but she couldn't expel him. Prescott Private needs Reese. Wow. Just wow. Fight. 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 Voices of a cheering crowd brought me back to reality. I looked up, only to find my breath caught up in my throat. A relatively large audience had gathered around Reese and Tyler, encouraging one another to throw a punch. I felt like throwing up. Running as fast as I could manage in my school shoes, I tried to get through the crowd. After pushing and shoving some people and apologizing over a billion times, I finally came to a view. Tyler had his guard up. He was in full battle mode with his stern, intimidating expression on his face and the way he had his fists up for a punch. Reese, on the other hand, stood there casually with an amused, playful smile. Well? Are you going to hurry up already? I have places to go, people to see, things to destroy. Reese's calm voice surprised me. Did he not realize the dangerous situation he was in? Sure, right after I destroy your pretty face. Tyler sneered. His friends on the swim team were cheering him on. I noticed Charlie standing in the crowd, shaking his head and running his fingers through his hair. Charlie was like me, we both weren't fond of fighting. Reese's eyes glistened as he smiled an adorable crooked smile. So you think my face is pretty? Yeah, pretty shit. With that, he aimed his fist directly to Reese's face. The crowd gasped and I closed my eyes, waiting for Reese to groan in pain. But it never happened. Hesitantly, I fluttered my eyes open only to see Reese have Tyler's fist in his grip, just like he had mine 2 nights ago at Cyrus. Was that really all you have? Let me teach you how the big boys play. The next thing I knew, Tyler was on the ground, gasping for breath. Valentino's laugh was able to be heard over the crowd's cheers. Oi Reese, Try not to kill the kid, yeah. Reese smirked, I'll try, no promises though. He casually walked over to where Tyler was attempting to get up and failing miserably and pulled him up with his collar. Come on kid, don't tell me you've had enough already. Tyler's bright blue eyes were filled with hatred, anger, and a hint of embarrassment. He tried to serve another punch but again, Reese caught it, twisted his arm around his back and kneed him in the face, before kicking him into the dirt. Once again, he was on the ground. Blood began to run down Tyler's nose. Before I knew what I was doing, I pushed more people aside, forgetting to apologize in the process, and stood in front of Reese with my back against Tyler in defense mode. It was like Reese had just noticed I was there the entire time. His eyes softened a little before they turned cold with rage. "You're protecting him?" he asked with pure disgust. My hands were shaking uncontrollably. The whole crowd had silenced, and the only sound audible was Tyler's groans of pain. "Well, Mr. Championship Fighter, it doesn't look like you're the one that needs protecting right now," I said bitterly. More bitterly than I had actually expected. "Chloe, leave." Reese's jaw was locked and it was obvious he was pissed off, and boy did he look sexy when he was pissed off. "No," I said quietly. "You're testing my patience, princess." "Ooh, seems like Reese has a little soft spot for Chloe, root you guys." Tyler managed to choke out in his state. I looked at him. "Tyler, I would shut up if I were you. Unless you actually have a death wish." He put his hands up in surrender. He wiped off some of the blood running down his face with his sleeve and looked at it. "This isn't over, Reese. I don't have any more time for you, you little shit, so let's get this over and fucking done with, pussy." Reese snapped. "No," I yelled as I got in between them once again. "Stop this. Stop fighting. Chloe, get out of the way." Reese growled at me. The intensity in his eyes was hard to look away from. We stared at each other, daring one another to blink. The atmosphere was tense. Too tense. I tore my eyes away from Reese's and looked directly into Tyler's. "Leave." Tyler scoffed. "What?" I said. "Leave. Are you deaf?" I snapped. I glanced at the audience watching in silence. "Show's over, guys. Get on with your lives." People began to awkwardly move around and give curious looks to each other. I stood my ground and even shocked myself at how demanding my voice came out. "Do I need to repeat myself?" I said. "Leave. Or so God help me, I will report each and every one of you to our headmaster," I said in my most venomous tone I could manage. People began to